There, Azul Terronez here from Authors Who Lead. I want to give you 5 tips to overcome writer's block and finishing your book because many people I help often come to me and they get stuck. Maybe that's where you're at today. You're feeling stuck and you want to know, how do I overcome writer's block? Let's talk about what it is anyways. What is writer's block? Well, honestly, writer's block is something that's not real, meaning it's only in our mind, but it feels like it prevents us from taking action in writing our book. It might even prevent us from taking action in marketing. So it's really not all about writing. It's about these deeper things. So first thing I want you to know is, like, don't make an attachment that I have writer's block, because writer's block is not actually a real thing. Now, you might get upset by me saying that, but you wouldn't go to your hairdresser and they say, sorry, honey, I can't do your hair today because I have hairdresser block, or I have barber block, or have somebody come over to do your yard and they say, I'm sorry, I can't mow your lawn today. I have lawnmowers block. That would be absurd. And I want you to think of writer's block as absurd. But it doesn't mean there aren't real barriers to taking action. So that's what we're going to talk about today. So let's go over. Tip number 1. I want you not to future trip. Most writer's blocks cause by thinking about what can happen in the future, meaning what will happen if I don't finish this? What will happen if I get bad reviews? What will happen if no one likes it? What would happen if I don't get it done? These are all future tripping, as I call them, and I don't want you to do that. If you start thinking about those things, you'll start to worry so much that you won't be able to take action, because the worries will get manifested if you finish the book, right? If you put in the world, no one likes it. If you don't finish the book, then you're solving that problem. So it's just your brain's way of solving the problem you've created. So tip number 1, don't future trip. Stay right here, right now. Another thing is, set up some really small steps. Like, get the small steps and give yourself a goal, but make them really easy. Give yourself some sort of reward. Give yourself some sort of incentive, pat on the back or something. Or maybe even, hey, if I finish this chapter today, I'm going to buy myself that Frappuccino. Whatever gets you excited. Set the goals fairly small. Like, don't say I'll reward myself when I finish the book. That's a long time to wait. Maybe say when I finish editing the section, or when I finish writing 500 words, I'll reward myself. That's tip number 2. Tip number 3, try a different place than where you normally sit and do work. If sitting in the same spot's triggering you to be stuck, move away from it. If you're working at your computer all day and then you try to write in the same space, maybe that physical environment actually just triggers worry. So I want you to maybe move to a different space. Create a maybe more sacred writing space that's in a different spot, or where the sun maybe hits a certain angle that you like, or maybe go to a cafe. One thing I used to do to get a different space is I would go to swimming pools at hotels and order a drink and sit by the pool as if I were a guest on this really cool writing thing, and then I would just leave. So I would kind of crash the pool party, but hey, it worked. So try a different place or a different sort of environment. That could even be the different time of day. If you normally wait to the very end of the day when you're done with work, maybe try writing the first half hour of the day. All those things can help you eliminate worry as you start triggering your mind that something's wrong. Tip number 4. Get feedback from others to help you remind yourself that you're doing a good job. Like, maybe share some piece of writing with somebody you're close to. Now, that sounds terrifying. How is that going to help you? Well, actually, your fear is it's no good. And the truth is, someone can help you validate the parts that are really good and give you helpful encouragement to keep going. So if you hide it away until the end, you're just going to build up more terror, more worry. There's a theme here, you see. All these writer's blocks have to do with worry. But maybe if you start revealing it earlier, you'll start to get more confidence and you don't have to wait till the book's out to deal with some of these sort of fears that are coming. And tip number 5, use prompts. Use prompts that help your writing. So don't just show up to a blank page. Be prepared for the next day. So the next day you might say, I'm going to start my very next sentence with this prompt, or I'm going to write about this topic tomorrow. Create yourself a prompt so that when you go to start, you're not wondering, what should I write about today? It's going to be really clear at the end of your writing session. You write, okay, tomorrow I'm going to start with this prompt, this story starter, or this beginning. That will help you know where you're starting so you don't have to go back. Most authors, they sit down and what they do is they reread everything they wrote. You don't want to do that, because what you start doing is turning on your editor brain, and then you start worrying again, and then you start over and you start fixing things. That's not writing, that's editing. So you want to stay right in the writing phase. So having a prompt can help you not go back and reread, so that you could just keep in the flow moving forward. And if those things don't help you, here's some tools that can help you finish your book. Number 1, visualize your book first. Like, get a clear picture where your book's going. I often have my clients draw it out, map it out, so you can see, oh, here's my entire book in one snapshot. Set a deadline that's really actionable. Something you're like, hey, by this date, I'm going to finish this. I like to fit deadlines for word counts because I can count those things. Because chapters can change lengths and this and that. I just say I'm going to write my 500 words. So my deadline for this week is this many words. That helps. Keep your motivation up by being consistent. I like to write daily when I'm writing a book because then I know I'm not doubting if I wrote yesterday. I write every day until I'm done. Now, does it work perfectly? No. But whatever you do, if you're writing on the weekends only or, whatever your choice is, stay consistent. That's how you do it. Just like doing anything else, it's going to require a writing muscle. So you feel like the flow keeps going. And also, don't forget your why. Why are you doing this? Why does this matter? Is this going to help you create some small passive income to help supplement something in your life? Or maybe you're writing a legacy piece, you're honoring a family member, or maybe you're using it to gain in your business. Keep focused on your why you're actually doing this. That will help increase the motivation. And then lastly, join a community. Get a part of a writing group. They often have them in your local communities, or join an online writing community like the Authors Who Lead community, because you can hear from other authors how hard this is, how difficult, what you can do when you are in a place of frustration. Don't do it alone. I know in school, writing was being treated like a solo sport. Like, don't look at anyone's paper, don't get help from your friends or family. But writing truly is a collaborative process, especially when you consider the fact that overcoming these doubts and these blocks require you to know you're not actually losing your mind, and a community can really help you do that. So I hope that helps you to stay focused. I hope you realize that you can do this. Writer's block is really more about the worry or the future focused things than it has to do with the writing itself, because writing is just one word after the other. What's blocking you from doing that? More than likely, it's things that are in your mind. I hope this helps. I hope it helps you overcome your writer's block so that you can take the action you need today. And I'm Azul Terronez from Authors Who Lead, and I hope to see your book one day. Take care.